This portion of the CU podcast is brought to you by EarthySelect.com, your source for the finest Delta 8, Delta 9, and Delta 10 THC flower, oils, pre-rolls, vape pens, cartridges, and edibles. Their premium adult use products are crafted from organic cannabis and infused with pure and potent THC extracts for effects you can feel.
Delta 8, Delta 9, and Delta 10 THC products are perfect for relaxing, socializing, and getting creative. Plus, they are hemp-derived and federally legal to ship nationwide. Let's look at some of their most popular goodies. Earthy Select's Delta 8 vape pens are packed with potent Delta 8 plus cannabis-derived terpenes. They have a stealthy ergonomic design that gives you a quick hit with no lag, making it perfect for gaming. Each rechargeable pen has 1 gram of Delta 8 THC and is available in 4 great-tasting flavors like Guava Kush or my personal favorite, Cherry Pie. I love these vapes. They pack light and are excellent on the go. Earthy Select also makes THC gummies and candies that are organic, vegan, gluten-free, and taste great. They all come in different strengths, so you can start low and see what's right for you. The Delta 8 gummies can be really relaxing, while the Delta 10 is more associated with feeling productive and creative, so it's great for daytime projects or like an all-night role-playing session. The Delta 9 gummies are really impressive. They have real deal Delta 9 THC, and they come in sativa peach or indica mango.
They have a huge variety on the website, so check it out. EarthySelect.com. All of Earthy Select's cannabis products are federally compliant and they ship nationwide. Order online at EarthySelect.com and use the coupon code CUP20 to save 20% on your first order. No limits. Must be 21 or older. That's EarthySelect.com and use code CUP20 to save 20% on THC. Earthy Select. Select your adventure. We got Anchor voicemails. Go to anchor.fm/CU podcast. You go, you leave a voicemail, you let us know you love or hate us, but within 20 seconds. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. If you're going to hate us quickly and love us quickly, it doesn't sound too good.
Hi, Ian and Pat. It's Aaron here once again. I've noticed a lot of Platinum released PS1 and PS2 games slowly going up in price. I believe you call them greatest hits in your part of the world. I've been given various reasons for this, from the dwindling supply of the Black Label games, the general better condition of the Platinum titles, some releases getting bug fixes, and I've even been told by some sellers they're worth more due to rarity. I just wondered what both your opinions are regarding this, as the Platinum variant was a cheap way to start playing for the early PlayStation consoles, at least here in the UK. Thank you once again.
Very good information in that, Aaron. I did not know that was a market on the rise. Yes, you're going to find, obviously, but by the time it takes for something to get to be a greatest hits, you have to sell a lot. So obviously, the rebrand is going to be less made of them. Absolutely, it makes sense for the most part.
It depends. Really popular games might get a couple of print runs after the first one, so you're going to be you will end up with more greatest hits. I cannot remember my specific examples because I've been out of Luna now for over a year, but there were a couple examples I had on the PlayStation 1 where people were always like they wanted the Black Label because it was, the rare version, but like there are some games where the greatest hits version is far more rare.
Interesting.
Yeah, because it maybe only got like one print run or a small print run, so it's harder to find the greatest hits version.
They called it a greatest hits even if it was a small print run. That'd be interesting.
Any sort of re-release is a greatest.
They just called it greatest hits.
Yeah, any sort of was a greatest.
Okay.
Hits.
Most of the stuff like on the N64, the million sellers.
Those were million sellers. Yeah.
So there's less of those than the previous ones. I did not know about bug fixes being an impetus for that. I haven't heard of that specifically. I
think there's only like 12 PS2 games that actually have major differences, but there are some. And then famously, the Devil May Cry 3 has actual added content to it. So people will oftentimes go for the greatest hits on that more than the standard release.
Hey, Pat and Ian, this is Ed from San Diego.
Ed!
I recently went through the guidebook and I wrote down all the 5-star games. I'm going to read them off to you, and I want you to both let me know if this is your official top 20 games for the NES.
Well,
Baseball Stars, Contra, Dragon Warrior 4, DuckTales, G.I. Joe. I believe that's the
first one.
Taxon version. Guerrilla War, Gun-Knack, Kirby's Adventure, Legend of Zelda, Maniac Mansion, Mega Man 2, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, Mr. Gimmick, Miss Pac-Man, Pirates, River City Ransom, Super Mario Brothers 1, 2, and 3, and Tecmo Super Bowl. So again, if you either of you disagree with any of these. I just wanted to know what your take was on the official guidebook 5-star top 20
What's the
games.
take on? I mean, like,
Thanks.
I reviewed half of those. I think
That's a great list of games, but it wouldn't be my top 20 because there's some stuff in there that I'm just honestly I don't love Maniac Mansion on the NES. Playing a game like that with the controller sucks.
That I think who reviewed that one? Did Karen review that one?
I mean, it's
Karen reviewed that
it's
one.
a perfectly fine version. Like, there's nothing wrong with it, but I just don't want to play games like that on a control pad.
Sure, but if you look at it, probably within the NES library, it's probably the best type of that one. Maybe that's what Karen was thinking. I'm not in love with Maniac Mansion enough to know if that's 4.5 or 5.
Anyway, I think those are all fair 5-star reviews, but I would not necessarily agree with all of them. No.
Well, you gave Zelda 2 only 4.5, Ian. Do you regret that? Versus 5?
Yes, but I figured you'd try to shout me down on it, so I said no.
Why do you think I would do that? You want to? Yeah, there's going to be another edition eventually. You want?
I think 4.5 is probably fair.
It's the only full-page review that's not 5 stars in the book.
I love Zelda 2, but there are some fucking issues with it, and the life system is number one. It's silly.
I feel bad that no Koei game got 5 stars. They were reviewed by, I think, 2 writers reviewed all of the Koei games. And I feel like it's unfair not to have one of those Koei strategy games get 5 stars just because they were all very high quality. A lot of them hit 4.5 stars, and I would think that one of them would be above the rest. That's the only regret I have, is that I don't know enough about those games. I got into them to know that maybe Genghis Khan 2 or La Empereur, or you know what I mean. Like, is there one that's the shining one? Even though they're all very well-made games.
Let's move on before this turns into a poll topic.
We can get into it, but the other one I'm going to say is that G.I. Joe, I gave 5 stars. The first one, the second one, I gave 3. I did not believe how much of a drop-off there's going to be. I wonder if I might have been a half star more in G.I. Joe. I want to go back and maybe play it again.
I think that was my strength. That to me, that was the weirdest 5-star, because I like the game, but I don't think it's anywhere near 5 stars.
Okay, that might have been a G.I. Joe bias of a half star.
I think it was.
That is one, but the second one is definitely not nearly as good.
No, the second one's bad. I mean, I would argue
average. It's not a bad game.
I played a lot of it as a kid because my neighbor hated it and lent it to me and never really asked for it back. But I don't think it's a good game.
Okay, I think it takes a hit. It's still, I think, above average game.
Starts off really hard.
And then the other one that I think about, the reason I gave Miss Pac-Man, the Tengen version, 5 stars. There's so many options in that game.
It's great.
There's so they went so above that for just a game where the regular license, Namco release is just, hey, here's just the game. Great. The Tengen one gives you speed up mode. It gives you all the different maze options. It gives you 2-player simultaneous and competitive.
And the Genesis version's even better.
Oh, they've added more than that because it's also Tengen.
It's the NES version, but 16-bit and nice.
Like, you'll never need another Miss Pac-Man game than that Tengen home port. Like, you'll never need it. That's why I gave it 5 stars. And then Ian gave it 5 stars to Gunneck because the previous writer didn't know what they were doing.
That's right.
You're like, I'm going to save that review. And I'm like, go for it.
I had to save that review. That was imperative.
But it's nice to have someone actually review it with some sensibility. Next one here.
Hey guys, Brandon from Michigan. My question is about all the counterfeit video game listings that are all over eBay. What can be done about these? It seems like whenever I search for games anymore, there's just as much counterfeit stuff as there is legitimate stuff. And eBay's answer to me whenever I report listings is, unless the actual copyright holder makes a complaint, there's just not much they can do about it. So should eBay be doing more on their own initiative? Should companies like Nintendo be complaining? What can be done about all these counterfeits?
It's sort of shocking Nintendo hasn't. I'm
very surprised
because a lot of those are first-party published games.
Yep.
N64 ones, Super Nintendo ones, a lot of like the Earthbound ones and things like that. Like, Nintendo could easily go, hey, eBay, you're going to put an end to this. We're going to sue the shit out of you for allowing this to go. Like, they could do that. And I don't know why. Maybe they don't think it's worth their time.
The only thing I can think of is it's just.
But if they go after ROM downloading, not download, offering the ROMs, they go after that. Why would they go after the actual pirated stuff like that where people are
sure?
No, it's interesting. I'm not sure why. Next.
Hey guys, Ian from Rochester, New York.
Ian.
With the recent announcement of GoldenEye coming to Xbox with dual analog stick support, I'm wondering what games would you like to see come back with modern controls?
What game would come out with modern controls? You'd like to say?
I mean, I don't know. That's interesting. The one that I think would be most fun for me to try, it already exists. Doom. Doom has had mods since Z Doom, if maybe not earlier, that allowed for mouse
full
support.
mouse.
Yeah.
Is there a mod that allows you to like look up even?
Yeah, full mouse support. Yeah, you can
you
look up.
actually look up
It
and down.
actually, like, if you play, and I always go to Z Doom, and everyone's like, Z Doom hasn't been used in ages. It's on this now. But yeah, it actually added full aiming too, where like if a guy was up here and you shot here.
Oh, it doesn't automatically. It changes it from 2D to 3D.
It changes
Wow.
it changes how the game acts to 3D.
Okay,
which is interesting.
That's a mod you can just download?
It's a type of Doom, and you can load all sorts of WADs and stuff into it, I believe.
Wow, that'd be interesting.
It's been a while.
Been a while.
I'm not sure if that's available on any of the console or official ports. If it's not, then I'd say that, because it's kind of fun to play. It does change the game. I mean, it does. Play styles and strategies in Doom,
Oh yeah, I remember the one part of which is it Doom 2 or Doom 1 where a guy would be shooting me. I couldn't see him because he was like up there. I was like, where the hell is he? You just hear him shooting me. I'm like, what the fuck? Because he can't look up. There's almost a charm in not being able to look up though.
Yes, yeah. So, I'd say that.
Remember, there wasn't a really 3D first-person shooter until Quake. It wasn't 3D. Neither was Dark Forces. It was not 3D. That was off of like the Doom engine probably as well, or I guess Wolfenstein engine.
Hi, this is Brett Douglas from Perth, Australia. I listen to you guys every week between the start of January to about mid-December. After that, I kind of just tune the fuck out. Sorry, guys. I enjoy the festive season too much. Drink too much alcohol, eat too much of the wrong food, go to too many parties, and then I start listening again about late January. I just want to ask you a question. Do you feel you could do the same thing? You do the podcast religiously, and do you feel like you just want to take a break and enjoy your birthday or a festive period sometime? Thanks, guys.
We've taken off for Christmas before. We've taken off a week.
Not in a long, long time, although I believe we're doing that this year. We're
taking a week or two this year. I thought we did last year. We took a week. Because you've gone away one Christmas.
We might have done it last year because I was sick, but I don't think that was the intent. Because we've definitely recorded multiple.
I've done a best of one year, maybe a few years ago. I remember.
Yep.
We took a week off. I think this year we're going to take a couple of weeks because it wasn't December. There's nothing happening before Christmas anyway, so it's like what we're going to do. So we might take a couple of weeks there. Next.
Hey, Pat and Ian. It's Patrick from Elgin, Illinois.
Hey, Pat.
I have a question for both of you. Have either of you ever watched the show Rescue 911, hosted by the great William Shatner? And Ian, did you know that they actually based a pinball machine off the show? Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
I might have played that, not realized it was based off of it.
Yes, I have definitely played it before. It's kind of a fun machine.
Just a rescue sort of theme.
Yeah, there's a helicopter that like picks up the ball and moves it, if I recall correctly. It's, I never really watched the show. No.
All I know is that it was memeable, I guess, even back like in the 90s, because I remember my cousin would tape it for all the funny reenactment moments that people...
Oh, sure. And that's what people watched Cops for,
Reenactments and Cops?
Oh, I'm sorry. Just like, for the moments, the weird moments.
The weird shit.
Yeah.
Yes. But like the acting moments that are bad.
Gotcha.
Unsolved Mysteries didn't usually go that cheesy. They had some good acting on Unsolved Mysteries. They had some good acting. Here and there. I
mean, I love Unsolved Mysteries. That's never in doubt, but I don't know if I would call the acting good.
It was above Rescue 911.
Okay. That's fair.
Hey, Pat. Hey, Ian. This is Domino calling from South Carolina. A lot of people love to talk about how franchises like F-Zero and Mother need a new entry. But what about those forgotten Nintendo IPs? So my question to you guys is, what Nintendo IPs that only got one entry would you like to see come back? Personally, I would love to see Uniracers or Mole Mania come back on the eShop as a small downloadable title. Thanks, guys, for the podcast.
Clue Land. I'd love to see a new Clue Land.
Does Nintendo own Uniracers?
I think they might. I think I've looked that up before.
Okay. I'll look that up.
I'll look it up. But yeah, Clue Land would be mine. I think it would be relatively easy to do a new one that would be fun. No, it was not. It's developed by DMA Design, but published by Nintendo.
Okay, so they may not own the rights to it anymore.
Yeah.
Gotcha. But it's listed as, Uniracers is listed as a single entry. Interesting. You said Clue Land?
Yeah.
In the same style or like a
Yeah.
3D thing?
Yeah, do the same style. Just more boards, more mazes, less memorization.
VR Clue Land. You swing around, get sick, start throwing up in your VR. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to do it for a single one. Obviously, me and John Cena, everyone wants F-Zero. I mean, that's ridiculous. How there hasn't been another F-Zero. It's just ridiculous. You'll see another Star Fox eventually, whether the Wii U remake or a new one. You'll see it. It's big enough. It's hard to pick up one like the one-offs. It's just hard to think of one like what actually is going to be justifiable to me to redo. I think you should see another wave race eventually. That'd be nice. I love.
There
wave
was
race.
technically 2 of those.
Oh no, I'm just saying in general. Like,
sure.
Like I said, I'm looking at the one-offs. Like, what, another Wild Gunman? Like what?
Right. A lot of the one-offs actually go back to like honestly like the
70s.
early NES era.
Or they go back to the 70s on projection.
Sure.
Like Duck Hunt was before it was a video game, was shoot us fucking on a screen. How about another pro wrestling? Another Nintendo wrestling game. That'd be interesting.
Yeah. Well, that wasn't. Well, yeah. I mean, it was Nintendo, but it was also, I believe, that was largely developed by people who went on to form.
It was. It wasn't developed by Nintendo. It was. I think there's 1 or 2 names. It was Try or something other name. That was who developed pro wrestling. The first Fire Pro game.
Hey, fellas. Steve on Long Island. You've both been tasked with coming up with a new civ and a new leader for the way down the line Civilization 7. Who you got?
Fresh leaders.
Yeah, like a new leader.
I don't know who. I haven't keep track of who was in this last one.
Yeah.
There's like 40 different leaders in the game, aren't there? There's like tons.
There are tons. I wish I could be better at this, but I am not. I have nothing to offer you.
I don't know. Say something and people get, he's being political. God.
Hey, Ian. Your Holiness Pat Contry, the most Catholic man on YouTube.
Wait, where does that come from?
I don't know.
I haven't gone to church in God since high school was the last time I went every Sunday.
I just got another drug-related question this week. Have you guys had any bad trips or even good trips that have kind of fun stories around them, or bad stories around them?
Good or bad stories?
I have been lucky enough to not ever have one bad trip, and I have tripped a lot. I lots of good stories, but I will just say that I posted this on Twitter yesterday. I think my all-time favorite acid memory is fairly simple. My friend John and I and another couple of buddies drove his mom's blue minivan up to Allegheny State Park, did acid, started in the afternoon, and at night we parked the van and I was sitting on top of it while they were kind of like looking around and stuff and looking down the road, and the road was tree covered and there was all of these fireflies out, just shitloads of lightning bugs, and flying around lazily in circles, and like looking down it was just this incredible tunnel of like neon light, because obviously you're tripping light trails, and it will stick out in my mind as maybe the most perfect moment. It was fantastic.
Oh, who doesn't love a lightning bug? That's one of the things I missed about living back in Jersey and back east, was a cute little lightning bug.
Love them.
That the cats try to jump and swat, and you put them in your hand, you look at them,
and you let them go.
Let them go. And then they're dead in a week and a half because their lives are so short. But that's depressing.